Welcome back to Luigi's Mansion. We went from Egyptian to Magic Land. Okay. Some of the transitions are really weird in this game.
I do like this floor in particular, though. It was one of the more memorable ones. Also, one of the ones that felt more like a hotel. So, points for
Yeah,
that.
they weirdly go back to feeling like a hotel here because, like, a magic show is something that they would have at a hotel. And then I think the floor after this one is the fitness center, which is like something that most hotels have nowadays, which you would expect to be towards the beginning of the game with the more realistic stuff.
We touched on this. We touched on this before, but in some luxury hotels, the fitness center might actually be toward the top because it caters to richer patrons.
Oh, do you roll the die until you get the 6?
No.
If you do that, it spawns money.
I think the reason they do that is because they're catering to like business people who are always on the move, and who, in order to stay physically fit, need to have a fitness center in their hotels. So they have a more like involved, luxurious kind of fitness center to cater to those
Generally
people,
speaking,
yeah.
Usually, though, the pool is on like the bottom floor, no matter what. And
that has more to do with how water pumps, I guess.
Yeah, so I do like these ghosts, though, the 3 magician girls.
That just means if they put a pool in an upper level, it's definitely for the richer patrons. But yeah.
Yeah, I would say that out of the ghosts in this game, the boss ghosts, these 3 are probably my favorite. They have the most fun interactions with themselves and with Luigi.
Yes, definitely.
So,
yeah.
But
I like them a
like
lot.
Something like a fitness center, if it's on a higher floor, the reason it's there is most likely, more than likely, in fact, because they want that floor to be exclusive to a certain class of patron. So they put it somewhere where ordinary customers won't be trying to access it all the time. And
Assholes.
where the people who are actually allowed to go there
You want to get to the treadmill? You got to climb those stairs,
and
fatty.
where the people who are actually who are actually supposed to access it feel special for being allowed to, if that makes sense. There's a mystique to the higher floors. So if you put something on a higher floor, it feels like exclusive goods.
You see, I get that, but at the same time, if I'm at a hotel and I'm tired after my long day of important business-type meetings, and my room is on floor 41, I don't want to have to wait 5 minutes just for the elevator to get up to floor 41 or whatever.
I love conventions where you have to wait in a massive line of people to get into the elevator because your room's on floor 50.
You see, what's frustrating is that a lot of the times, if your room is on the higher floor, you can't even take the stairs all the way up there. It's like, you can usually take the stairs down if you're trying to like, get up there. Get down, I should say, and you don't want to wait for the elevator, but usually taking the stairs up
I think, get around this problem by having certain elevators specifically for a certain class of patron. So that
it's more just for certain floors.
Well, yeah,
I do remember hearing that, yes, or seeing that, I should say, is like they'll have elevators for floors 1 through 20 and then 20 through 40 or whatever, which helps definitely.
Yeah, but if you restrict certain floors to a certain class of patron, then only that class of patron will be using those elevators, is the thing. So.
Yeah, that's like the hoitiest of all hotels, though, probably.
Yeah, probably. It does solve the problem of, you being a busy, exhausted business person wanting to get on with your resting after a long day at work, though.
Your long day of sitting in a meeting and playing Candy Crush on your phone instead of paying attention.
Well, if you're, like, an actual business person, you're
All right, fine, I'll close my fucking phone,
If
Jesus.
you're an actual business person with an actually important role in your company, you've probably spent the whole time actually working.
Let's hope.
You were doing a presentation to the office on synergy.
Okay, that's not the kind of position I'm thinking about. You're probably not traveling around if that's your role in the company.
In Animal Crossing,
like a boss.
In Animal Crossing Happy Home Designer, you can like design all the different buildings and stuff. One of which is a office building, and when you finish it, all of the animals in there are having a meeting on how to have a productive meeting.
Like, okay, one of the, okay, yeah, one of the, it's funny to think of rich, hoity-toity executive people having all this free time on their hands to spend their oodles and oodles of money. At the same time, though, that's not exactly true to reality. The people who get that high in the company worked hard to get there, and they have to continue to work hard to stay there. So hotels cater to that.
Nepotism is most definitely a thing.
Nepotism is definitely a thing, yes. But
Dad might have worked hard to get there.
that
but
only
not Junior.
Luigi.
that only
Yeah.
really solves the problem of getting there in the first place. The point is, it is difficult to work as an executive in a large business, especially a traveling one, and hotels are designed so that they can help ease that problem for a price, a hefty one.
Yeah, I was gonna say for a price.
For a price, and a hefty one. But, yeah. I guess the point I'm trying to make is that the reason things are the way they are is because stereotypes are often at least partly wrong.
Many stereotypes are wrong, but have like a
Wait,
little bit
did-
of true to them.
Did the money?
which
yeah,
makes
the-
them.
Did the money
went
get
through the wall.
The money went through.
Yeah.
Oh, for the. Ugh.
I mean, I don't necessarily need it, so.
I know.
Yeah, but it's frustrating because that's shiny money that you want.
You're not spending
Yeah.
any money, so you'll get the top rank anyway.
Yep.
This room also reminds me of Luigi's Mansion 1 room, where
Well, because
the
it happened there, yeah.
yeah, but that room was actually like really creepy. The one with the girl, the little girl sleeping upside down.
This is going for more of an Alice in Wonderland kind of feeling.
Yeah, that's definitely what they're going for here too. Is more of a
I mean, it's
look at all of
it's not just
the weird crap going
It's just
on.
not just a matter that you're standing on the ceiling and you fell off the floor. There are tables and chairs and bed. There are tables and chairs on the same wall as pictures. There's a bed on the wall. There's a vanity on the other wall, right next to some paintings, and then there's an upside down clock.
All of the cards also give Alice in Wonderland vibes.
Yeah,
Because of Queen of Hearts, is it?
Queen of Hearts. Yeah.
I honestly, I've never read the book for Alice in Wonderland, so my only other exposures to it are the Disney movie, which is fine.
I recommend
and-
reading the book, actually. It's, well, for one thing, it's pretty short, so you can get through it in an afternoon.
It's a short book of just about weird things being weird
Yeah.
things.
Yeah, no, that's basically what the Disney movie is too, just Disney-fied. It's like, look at all this weird shit.
It's basically Alice having an acid trip because she fell asleep while she was bored.
But the other thing that I saw was the Tim Burton movie, which is absolutely god-awful. I hate it. It's like one of the most self-indulgent movies I've
Look
ever
at that,
seen,
a
pretty
Tim Burton
much.
movie starring Johnny Depp and Helena Bonham Carter. Who would have guessed?
Yeah, it's like
Speaking
like-
of nepotism,
yeah, it's that movie is basically just everything I don't like about Tim Burton.
that's unfortunate, because it could have been an interesting way to do an Alice in Wonderland thing, but...
I mean, like Tim Burton doing Alice in Wonderland is just one of those things that just seems too easy.
It
without
makes
the
perfect,
context of
if
it,
you've
actually.
read the book, it actually makes perfect sense to get Tim Burton on that, because there's a lot of, in retrospect, oddly Tim Burton-esque concepts in the Alice books. Like I could totally imagine an Alice in Wonderland movie done in the style of Nightmare Before Christmas.
Honestly, what I think would be more interesting is Tim Burton doing Wizard of Oz stuff.
That would be
like book
interesting.
Wizard of Oz.
Yes.
Because it's not as immediately obvious that that's something that he should do.
But if you've read
So,
the books, it's
it would-
absolutely something he should do.
Yeah, but I mean, like, but it's not as like
Yeah, I know. A lot of people haven't like
2+2 level math.
Yeah, a lot of
you
people
know.
aren't as familiar with the Oz books as they are with the Wizard of Oz movie, so it doesn't occur to them to think of that combination.
I also think that like he would have he would be able to have an interesting take on the material as opposed to just doing Tim Burton-y stuff, which just is Alice in Wonderland. And oh god, I'm gonna get on a rant, so I'll stop.
I really want to see the Oz books get like a proper adaptation by modern standards, because there have been past attempts to capture some of what made the Oz books interesting, but
The Michael Jackson version didn't do it for you?
I didn't even know the Michael Jackson version existed. I was thinking more about Return to Oz, which was a
Should we show Lewis the Michael Jackson thing, John?
You know what? That's not even gonna register as anything for me, because I don't give a shit about Michael Jackson in any capacity. I'm sorry.
Can I take this opportunity to rant about how much I hate Wicked? Because I really hate Wicked.
Let's try to make the Wicked Witch out like a good person. It's like, what?
They literally just completely rewrite parts of the story in order to make her a good
Okay,
person.
that kind of...
Which is like...
let me just say something. That kind of storytelling for like old stories and fairy tales can be very, very, very interesting if it's done the right way. For example, when I was in school, one of the books I was made to read for class was Confessions of an Ugly Stepsister, and that was a really interesting, cynical take on Cinderella, which didn't exactly...
Yeah, no, it can be done well, it just isn't in Wicked.
Yeah, so like... also, if we're talking about the Wicked Witch from Oz, there is some wiggle room to make her semi-sympathetic, because she wasn't really the bad guy in the original Wizard of Oz novel. The wizard just sort of sicked Dorothy and her friends on the Wicked Witch without provocation.
Yeah. The problem is that...
As the prompt online goes, a woman drops a house on a woman, then the sister vows revenge, and somehow she's the good guy.
Also, the good witch, Glenda, wasn't the same good witch that actually did tell... Like, okay, they met a witch at the beginning, a good witch at the beginning, and they talked to said witch, but she didn't actually do anything, and she never came back in the story. The good witch, Glenda, who told Dorothy how to use her slippers, was someone that they didn't meet until the end. So the Wizard of Oz movie kind of accidentally made Glenda the Good Witch seem like an asshole.
It's one of those things where Wicked, the musicals, maybe the book is like this. I've never read the book, but I've seen the musical. The musical very definitely takes the movie as its inspiration, which you can't blame them because it is the most popular version of the story. Yeah. And it's just like, actually, the Tin Man was trying to get the witch the whole time, as opposed to where they very clearly say in multiple places in the original book and in the first movie where the witch like chopped all of his arms off and things like that or something, and like the Scarecrow actually loves the witch the entire time, and it's awful. I hate Wicked so much. Oh god.
So it's like your version of Grease, Ted.
Oh, you see, here's the thing.
Hey,
Grease actually has good music. I don't really like the music in Wicked all that much. So while Grease is a bad story,
Grease is terrible.
Grease is a bad story. Like, but at least I like the music. I don't really like the music in Wicked, so there's nothing redeemable about it.
I feel like Grease is like the wrong kind of media for us to even comment on, because it's so far out of what we would like.
I watched Grease a lot growing up.
My sisters love Grease.
Yeah, my mom fucking swears by Grease. That's the thing. And I've watched it a lot as a result.
A lot of the people I know who like Grease are girls and women, which, seems fairly obvious considering the subject matter. It's
even though the moral quote unquote of the movie is to change who you are to be with your man.
It's frustrating though, because like in the end of the story, both of them end up changing who they are in order to appeal the other one. But oh no, Sandy doesn't go back to being a preppy girl when she realizes that John Travolta, I forget his name, ends up being goes to being a jock. No, when she becomes a biker chick, he's like, okay, so then you're a biker chick, and I get to be the guy who I want to be. It's just like, okay.
That's the thing. Is like both characters go through something similar, but it's Sandy who has the big physical transformation.
He's like,
it's like
John Travolta just puts on a sweatshirt. That's literally all he does.
And then they take off in a flying car.
The thing about that particular element of the story is that depending on how you look at it, it could be seen in a couple of different ways. and you're going to see it in the most positive way if you already like the movie. So, yeah,
Yeah,
we
pretty
might think of
Yeah.
it because we're pretty off, like not really into the movie. Our mind jumps to like the negative interpretation that it's sexist. On the other hand, if
Right.
you like the movie, you might interpret it as being like her claiming her feminine independence by going rebellion or something. It's I haven't like, read
I,
up any.
I
That's
find
an
it hard to
interest-
believe that, honestly.
That's an interesting
she does
thesis.
it to
I would
please
like
a
you
man.
to
I
use
know.
her. I would like
I
you to
know.
sort that.
But here's
support
the
that
other
thesis
thing.
with
It's
evidence from
quite an
the
old movie, right? So
Right.
like 80s, I think it
Yeah,
was.
at
70s.
Well, the
at,
same
different,
is
at
always
different
70s.
points in time, the barometer by which you would measure the independence of a female character in pop culture changes.
Yeah.
So there is Lewis does have something going for it because we were talking about James Bond a couple parts ago. The Bond girls were at a point considered feminist icons because they were independent in their
They were,
sexuality.
they were walking around on screen in a
You know.
bikini, basically.
Yeah, so
Right. It's
at
really
a
trite
point
by
it-
today's standards, but that was the way it
Yeah.
was seen at the time.
yeah. So and then eventually some values changed, and instead of it being like, oh, they're independent, it's like, oh, they're a bad role model, I guess. Even though they're
It's
the-
more like
the
they're being
villains.
objectified, which they kind
Oh, yeah,
of
that's
were
probably
because
better.
the source material of James Bond is extremely sexist because James Bond himself is an asshole. But yeah, we keep going on really, really odd tangents. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, this is the end of a part. So we'll see you in the next one. Bye.